Hi friends, welcome to Last Stitch Effort. This is my podcast where I share my process of using up all my stash, every last bit. My name is Pacasha. I'm coming to you from New Mexico and it is a beautiful rainy day today in the mountains. And let's see, I'm sorry it's been a while since I recorded. We had a very, very difficult 2 weeks for our family. The least of which was all of us getting COVID. So I wouldn't have been able to record anyway because I like to do these in one take, and I was coughing a lot. Everybody was coughing a lot, but it's early morning here. This is the only time I can really record, and so we're gonna do it. Even though things have been really tough, if you're anything like me, your knitting kind of gets you through a lot of those things, and I did knit quite a bit, and then kind of not. So I don't know what I'm trying to say, but first things first, I usually say what I'm wearing, but I'm actually not wearing anything hand knit today. It's nice and rainy and cool, but you know, I'd still overheat, so not today. So let's move on to finished objects. And the first finished object I have to show you is this, which if you have seen past episodes, you've seen this before. This is a top that I kind of designed, for lack of a better word, but it's essentially like a poncho type top where it's just two rectangles seamed together at the top shoulders and a few inches on the sides. And I took the lace panel from MWAA's 100th anniversary camping shawl, EZ camping shawl, for this front part, which is willow leaves, and this back part is a stacked, what's it called? Fur cone lace by Evelyn Clark, and that's the back, and it's using Holst Garn Coast, which if you've watched before, you know I'm trying to get that out of my stash, or at least use it all up as much as I can. And it's great. Like, if it's how I wanted it to fit, I made another version of this using a different modification, and I'm happy with that one. This one, when it blocked, it just didn't block quite the same. So I think I'm going to try to maybe steam block it. Like, I pinned it out. I don't know, something changed in the seaming, or I don't know, but I've had it hanging in my closet just to kind of get, you know, that cotton, like, weight. When you wear cotton, it kind of pulls down on you. I was trying to get kind of that drapiness, but it's just not happening. So I don't know, like, it's cute. I really like, especially the back. I don't know why I really like the way that looks, but I'll wear it. It probably just needs to be blocked again, and I'll be perfectly happy with it. But that did use a significant amount of coast, and I don't have a whole lot left, but I did work through a few other little balls of it, and I made this, what is this? The Fuss Free Baby Cardigan by Louise Tilbrook, and I haven't put buttons on it yet. You can see, but it's kind of cute. Did I show this? I don't think I showed this. When did I finish this? Okay, I don't know. It's done though, and it came out of my coast numbers, and that's all that matters. And I didn't weave in any of the ends. I don't care. And I didn't put buttons on. I don't care. Yeah, maybe I've shared that before. I don't know. I finished it a while ago, and it's just been sitting in the pile to talk about, so either I didn't put it away or I haven't talked about it. But Louise Tilbrook has a lot of really cool patterns. She's not really on Ravelry so much, no, at all anymore. She's mostly on Instagram. So I actually did a couple more, or one more of her pattern, but 3 of a pattern. This is called the Fuss Free Beanie, and it's absolutely not on Ravelry, but it is available on, I think, her blog or Instagram, like a real, whatever one of those things are called. So I have 2 little friends that one of their favorite colors is, well, one of the boys' favorite colors is rainbow and green, and the other one is blue, purple, and green. So I made them hats. So this has got some mustache yarn, self-striping leftovers held with Knit Picks Glimmer and Potion, which is green. It's kind of not really showing up on the camera so much, but it's got sparkle in it and it's cute, and it's just for a little dude, and I can see him wearing it. And his little brother, or his big brother, likes the blue, so I used the Glimmer in Peacock with just some other leftovers that I didn't have recorded in my stash. And I made these two little guys for my two little friends. My daughter babysits them, and they're just the cutest, and they needed hats, or I wanted to make them hats, and so I did. And then I made a third just because I was sitting there, and you know when your brain just isn't wanting to do what it needs to do, so I don't know. It's just a comfort knit. I didn't end up doing the crown pattern, which is, you know, broken rib, but I did hold together a lot of like greens and stuff, and I'm just going to donate this one to charity, or if you want it, let me know. Yeah, so that was just kind of a little extra comfort knit that I did. I also worked on Charm of the Woodland, which is a hat by bunnymuff, and I used the last of my Barrett wool home fingering, which I talked about in the last episode, that I wanted to use up the rest of that, and I did. Every inch. I made the hat. I had to do some adjustments on the color work because I didn't have enough of certain colors, and that was fine, except when I put it on it was a little too big, so I pulled it out and I changed the shape. I got rid of the shaping at the top, and I put in some ribbing to make a cowl because it was that much too big. And then I blocked it, and all the colors just ran. Like, it's not really, I mean, the white is pink. It's all pink, and it's splotchy, and I mean, what would have been a fairly cute thing is now kind of not great. So I think I'm going to seam up the top and the bottom, like stuff it with a little bit of something, and put it in the cat basket for like a pillow. I don't know. It probably means the cat will never sleep there again, because usually when I make something for the cats, that's what happens. But I did make it. It used up the yarn. It was really cute. It was fun. I should have known my gauge was going to be off, because it sometimes is with her patterns, but I just went with it. Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to beat myself up about it too much, but I think that's all of my finished objects. Kind of short, like breezing through everything. So I'll talk about whips. So this, I talked about my reverse stash, how everything was going to fit in this, and that is what is happening still. I have a little yarn bowl. This is a new project. I started a pair of socks for my daughter. That's a little egg roll. This is the Crocus Vernus socks by Hunter Hammersen. This is from Knitter's Curiosity Cabinet. I don't know. Curiosity Cabinet book that she has, volume 1. Hunter took down almost all of her patterns on Ravelry, or everywhere actually, and made them unavailable, and she will release the ones that she wants to release. So this is actually not available, but I've had it for a while, and she has amazing sock patterns. Like, just the texture is really cool, and there's like some faggoting lace between the repeating. Oh, it's just so pretty. It's going to be so delicate and pretty. And this yarn is Orange Flower Yarns. I think this is, did I write it down? Flora. I'm not sure. It was in a grab bag, and none of it was marked. But it's gorgeous. Kind of a cool pink. And I think my daughter's really going to like those. Well, I know she is, because she saw them and likes them. Okay, so And then next is another new cast on, but I think I did talk about it. It's called the Horison scarf, and it came out as a kit from Holst garn, which is kind of what started all of this coast stuff, and I just never made the scarf. I made everything else but now I'm using up all my leftovers in this seed stitch. I'll show you the texture, and it's not really a pattern per se, other than you cast on so many, and whoa, that could have been dangerous. You cast on so many, and then you just work in seed stitch, and you change the colors whenever you feel like it. And I'm even doing it, as you can see, in the middle of a row, because I'm just grabbing the little balls and knitting with them when I come to them. And you know, I'm using up quite a bit. Like, this was almost full. This is my bag that I probably used half of that bag since last time I showed you. So yeah, that's coming along. Hopefully I have enough to make it as long as I want. If not, I might have to buy another ball of coast, which I don't really want to do, but I think it'll be a cool project, so I kind of do want to finish it. So we'll see about that, and that's going pretty quickly. That's been like car traveling knitting, because you really don't have to look at it. My next work in progress, actually my last, well, not really, no, I'm a liar, not my last. This is my Prairie socks by K. Jones. Still working on these. Last time I had just turned the heel and was starting the decreases, and now I'm finished with the decreases, but I'm really not that much further. This is my own hand-dyed yarn with sparkle, and it's coming along. Once again, no rush, just kind of working on it whenever. I think I put in a repeat last night because I felt guilty that I didn't really work on it much this whole time. So I did that. And I also started another new project, which I forgot, and it was thrown in here, and I actually worked on this last night and I forgot about it already. So a lot of my sick time, I pulled out my crochet blanket, my granny stripes leftover sock yarn blanket, and I worked on it a little bit, but not a lot. Mainly I was just kind of going through the yarn, and I found this bit of leftovers, which isn't in my Ravelry stash for some reason. I think it's Yarn Cafe Creations, and I think the color might have been Sea Mist, but no telling. But it's just so soft, and I didn't want to put it in that blanket because, yeah, I didn't want to put it in the blanket. It's too soft. I didn't quite have enough for socks, so I started a pair of mitts, and I'm using a Knit Picks Mini just for the ribbing, and I will eventually for the thumb, the end of the thumb. But I cast on 60 stitches as if I were doing socks, and I did an inch or two or whatever, and then I decreased right leaning and left leaning on either side of one of the stitches at the beginning of the row. And so I have the first mitt almost completely done, and the second one is casted on, and I've joined the main color. So those will be done probably by the next time I record. I'm enjoying them. I do wear a lot of mitts. I read somewhere, I don't know where, a friend on Ravelry or on a blog post or something mentioned that they wear mitts as often as they wear knit socks. And I kind of, well, sometimes do, not all the time, but yeah, they should probably be washed a lot more often than they are. So having like a good big stack of really basic mitts seems like a smart thing for me, and I have a lot already. But these will be nice and simple, so they won't be quite so precious as some of the ones like that are, you know, crazy color work or whatever, cables. And yeah, so just a simple little project. So that goes back in there. And then I thought I would show you my crochet blanket. So these are all, this is another one of those rice baskets, but this one's a slightly bigger one. These are all my sock yarn leftovers that I'm using, or that I have, period. I think I have a few like partial balls in here, but I'm intending those to be socks. These are strictly for my my blanket. I think I might have lost my hook. And I haven't, okay. Anyway, this could be an adventure later. This is what I've got so far. It's not like impressive or anything. It's just a fun little thing to do on the couch while you watch TV. It's not that exciting. I don't like to do it, like I can already tell, like my wrist really, or it's not really my wrist. Actually, I don't know if this happens with you guys, but when I crochet, it's right here that I get a lot of pain. So I can't really do it a whole lot. And I realized that over the last, I think, week when I was working on this, I only did like probably four or five rows of it, and it's really affected my hands so much that knitting last night actually hurt. So I may not be doing a whole lot of this, and it's going to be a very slow moving project, which once again, I'm fine. I don't care. I'm not in a big rush for that. But anyway, I thought I would show you that because, yeah, that happens sometimes. Not very often. So speaking of things that happen sometimes, but not very often, I have some acquisitions. I told you I was going to, but then there were more, and there are more coming. One thing you will learn about me is when I am sad or stressed or scared, I buy things. Not a lot, but I don't know. I feel like I deserve them for having survived, and I do. So, Kristen from Voolenvine had another update, and I grabbed 2 more skeins. This one is Fig Bash, which has been on my wish list for a very long time. And this one is Gashlycrumb, which has been on my list for a very long time. And this one I really wanted to see if it matched a couple of other skeins for a fade. But I want it in a single ply. She has a single ply, and this one was just her Footsie base, which is the plied sock yarn. I love them. I don't regret them even for a minute, and they're here. I also got from, I think it's Nico Norb Craft Co. She has a Dungeons and Dragons club. And I don't play Dungeons and Dragons. I have, but I don't have no campaigns going on now. But I always play a druid, and this was her druid colorway, and I just thought it was, well, I didn't know. It was a surprise, but when it got here, it was perfect. Usually I don't like super pale green, but I love it with this, especially because there's so many like little sneaky speckly accents in here. And she was so kind and sent me a mini also to go with it, so that will be probably put on the needles pretty soon. I mean, usually with new yarns I like to let them just sit there and think about what they want to become, but this one, it's just so pretty and it's so perfect, and I'm in, you know, this forest Baba Yaga witch hag phase, and I just want everything to look like it comes from a forest, and I want to look like a witch. So I need these to be socks or something. Yeah, socks probably, but that's that. One second, I'm gonna get a drink. Sorry, this is quality entertainment. So one thing two weeks ago, I was talking about 2 skeins of yarn that I bought, and I used them to make like a hat for my husband and some mittens and whatnot, using up every inch. Well, I actually forgot a project in there, and I thought I would just share it with you. So I made the Musselburgh, and I made the 2 sets of mittens I just love little mittens. They're just the cutest things. I make a lot of mitten advent calendars, or I have in the past. We have one for our family and for some other families, but maybe I'll make another one for my 2 little friends that got hats this time. But anyway, I forgot to show these. These are for my husband. So he did get a lot of the red yarn that he picked out and loved. These are Ysolda Teague's garter stitch mitts. I did a 3-needle bind off. I just didn't want to mess around with grafting them properly, and Mark doesn't care. I think it kind of adds a nice, cool little touch to it, but he wears these when he's typing and doing his design work. I don't know. But I forgot to share them, and I mean, I did them a long time ago, but I just wanted to share it as part of those 2 balls of yarn. And I still haven't used up those last few yards, but oh well, I'm not worried about that. There's just not enough time to knit everything when you want to knit it. I think, yeah, that's it for knitting. I did notice I had a lovely comment about a week ago from Margaret, who has the Wonderful Knitting Life podcast. And I thought it was a really sweet comment, and I rushed over to her channel, and I will link her below. And I just wanted to say hi, and I also wanted to say that she has some beautiful projects. She has got the most amazing color work. She finished a jacket, a huge jacket. Oh, my cat. And it was just so pretty and so inspiring, and so I just wanted to say hi, and I wanted to, you know, post about her podcast because it was lovely. And thank you, Margaret, and I hope we can continue to talk. Let's see what else. Oh, I watched a really good episode of Retro Claude. I think it was her July 23rd stash busting episode, and she's talking about, she's kind of at this standstill where she's going through her stash too, but she doesn't want to make things just for the sake of making things, and she has very much that that make do and mend mentality, and you know, that forces you to have a certain kind of creativity, which is really fun and easy and, you know, fun to do, and that's kind of what I'm doing with my stash too. But you come to a certain point where you don't really need another hat, you don't really need another sweater, and you know, what's sustainable really, and what's what can you justify actually making, and is this just a different kind of overconsumption where we just use our energy and time to do something that's not quite so useful. And so that's something I've been thinking about a lot, and I have for years, but it was just kind of good timing to watch that video and kind of be reminded of that, and to be, you know, intentional and thoughtful with what I'm doing, and who I'm doing it for, and if things will actually be useful. So that's just something I'm thinking about, and I don't really have anything else to say. I think things are going to get better. They seem to be getting better. I don't know. I hope so. In all of that, I also had a birthday, and yeah, pushing hard into my 40s, almost 50s, not really, but getting there. So I kind of had to have a bad track record with birthdays. I haven't had a good one in a while. My dad died 2 years ago, a few days after my birthday, and my grandpa died close to my birthday, and I don't know, just, it's a bad time of year, and then to add extra bad things, I don't know, doesn't make me feel very good about the aging process. So I have to find a way to disconnect actually myself from this time of year, even though this is like my favorite time of year. So I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just sad. So anyway, I hope you're not. I hope you're doing great, and I hope to talk to you soon and have some more things to share with you. Bye.